200 juveniles send shoppers scrambling after a large fight breaks out at the Mall of Louisiana. Baton Rouge police investigate the first murder of the new year, and
I forgot everything after that.
A miraculous recovery from a teen who was accidentally shot in the head while duck hunting. Good evening, I'm Chris Nakamoto. News 2 at 10 is next.
WBRZ News 2, named the state's best newscast by the Louisiana Associated Press. Live from the capital city in high definition, this is WBRZ News 2 Louisiana.
I just want to pick up my daughter.
I was nervous.
A massive fight in the food court causes the evacuation and closure of the Mall of Louisiana. Good evening. Deputies say 200 juveniles, part of a flash mob, caused the melee at the mall. According to deputies, kids answered a social media call to head to the mall. Deputies say the fight started in the food court. According to witnesses, people started running out of the mall, which caused deputies, state police, and Baton Rouge police to respond and shut down the entire area.
Right now, we think that there was some sort of post on social media about a flash mob planned for tonight, which drew such a large crowd of juveniles. Right now, there are no reported injuries. There were no weapons that were reportedly involved at this time. We're still sorting it out.
Authorities are still investigating. Some of the kids could face charges. Now, people inside the mall recalled the pandemonium.
Everybody just started running. They shouldn't have came out here doing that.
In the middle of all of this, pure confusion from parents looking for their kids.
I just want my daughter back.
All right. You can imagine the stress. You drop your kids off at the mall and you get a frantic phone call that something bad has happened. News 2's executive producer Trey Schmaltz was there as frantic parents tried to find their kids.
As the police helicopter circled above, people below circled too. Lost and confused.
Been out here walking the grounds for 30 minutes now. I cannot find her. I've been asking people around and nobody has seen her.
Like mom Shawn Wells, she never thought she'd get a frantic call from her daughter about something happening at the mall.
She said to come and get her.
And she never expected she'd spend the rest of her Saturday night searching for her.
I just want to pick up my daughter.
And she's not alone. What is likely hundreds of parents rushed to the Mall of Louisiana to find their kids.
Yeah, my man, where you at?
Like Kevin Martin, who after circling the mall and dropped call after dropped call, finally heard from his son, a high schooler from Baton Rouge.
You okay? Everybody you with was okay? Okay. All right, then, I'm gonna see you in a minute.
It's a night his son likely won't ever forget.
He was on a date tonight, his first date. Don't print that.
In the middle of the date, Kevin's son called him with bad news. The date was ruined. The mall was being evacuated. Kevin rushed from his house, but knew there wasn't much he could do.
Try to leave it in the hands of the Lord.
He's taught his kids well.
Just because they got a set of fools over there don't mean that you need to be one.
Which is why, after what seemed like an eternity to this father,
what's up, dude? You all right? You all right? No, what happened?
he and his son head home. For photojournalist Troy Galden, I'm Trey Schmaltz, WBRZ Balance News.
Happy ending there. Deputies tell us there are no reports of any lost kids or parents still searching for them. Now, also inside, workers were ordered to leave the mall as is. Traffic slowed to a crawl around the mall tonight as people left the area. This is what it looked like on I-10 near Essen as people got in their cars all at once. A live look at the roadways right now where you can see traffic is moving finally at I-10 at Essen. The I-10 exit ramps at Bluebonnet were closed for at least 2 hours tonight. Stay with WBRZ for the latest. We're going to have more tomorrow and continuous updates on WBRZ.com. A crime alert in Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge police worked the city's first murder of the year today. It happened in the 2700 block of Erie, which is just off of Plank Road. Investigators say 43-year-old Keith Matthews of St. Francisville was shot while sitting in a car in the driveway of a home. Detectives are following leads but have not released information on suspects or motives. Kiana Barnes has been on the run for 5 days. Law enforcement has increased the reward leading to her arrest. Remember, she scaled a fence to get out of the women's prison in St. Gabriel this week. She was convicted of manslaughter years ago, and the family of the victim is not comfortable with Barnes out on the loose.
Some word for my life, because she knows where we live, and that's a scary feeling that she's killed before and she'll kill again.
she did say that she wouldn't be held long, and she'd go, and she wouldn't be caught.
Here's another look at Barnes. If you have any information that can lead to her capture, you can call tips into the women's prison. The number is listed there on your screen. Meanwhile, the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's deputies need your help finding this man, 25-year-old Cody Mack. Deputies say he's responsible for a shooting at a house on Ritchie Drive. Deputies say Mack shot the victim in the leg. If you know where he is, call deputies. An early morning crash in Point Capee Parish killed 45-year-old James Weber. State troopers say his car veered off the road and hit a tree on Highway 10. He was not wearing a seatbelt. State troopers do not know if Weber was impaired. New at 10 tonight, a remarkable survival story. A 15-year-old who was accidentally shot in the head during a duck hunting trip in Point Capee Parish is recovering well. Brant Torres is walking, talking, even laughing, almost as if nothing happened. Doctors told family members it didn't look good for Brant when he first got to the hospital. He was put into a medically induced coma and had surgery on his brain. But less than 2 weeks into his treatment, his condition improved beyond what anyone could have even imagined. The Livonia High School sophomore told News 2 he's eager to get back to school, but he does have some memory loss.
All I remember is I was standing up, and I remember blowing the duck call, and then I forgot everything after that. The ducks came.
How is he doing this? I mean, this is not supposed to be possible. And soon after, they released us, and he's going to therapy, and truly amazing.
A remarkable recovery. Brant still has to go to therapy several days a week and has another surgery ahead. The Pecan Point subdivision in Plaquemine residents there came home to a surprise in their front yard a few weeks ago. Jacob Krasnow explains where their new lawn decorations came from.
When Ann Couch got home from a short trip out of town, she found this in her front lawn, a memorial to the Sandy Hook shooting victims.
So we pulled up in front and to read what it said, and when we saw that it was for the victims of the Sandy Hook, we thought it was a pretty neat idea.
The memorial came courtesy of Couch's neighbor, Kimberly Butler.
And I just feel like we need to do something to honor these victims.
Pecan Point is a community with a lot of young children, and Butler says watching the Sandy Hook disaster unfold on TV made it hit home that much harder.
It was just so tragic. I mean, I just feel like no parent should ever have to bury their child. Just very sad. It just really touched my heart.
Butler got together with some neighbors, sent an email to the community, and got no objections to the tribute. It was up the Saturday before Christmas.
People started donating things and, just wanting to pitch in and help and didn't want any money. So everybody's been very supportive of it.
I think it would be neat for other people to, pay their respects to things like this.
It's a small gesture from a community with a big heart. Jacob Krasnow, WBRZ Balanced News.
Butler and her neighbors don't have any plans to expand the memorial yet, but they may create similar displays in the future. Topping your headlines across Louisiana tonight, a large 4-alarm fire swept through the Hotel Intercontinental in New Orleans tonight. All of the guests and workers were evacuated. This happened around 7:30. The hotel is in the central business district across the street from the tallest high-rise in the city. The fire is under investigation, but investigators believe it might have started in a laundry room. The company responsible for that giant sinkhole in Assumption Parish is suing the state. Texas Brine filed a lawsuit last month over the directions the state gave the company on how to investigate the sinkhole. The company in the lawsuit is also questioning the state of emergency that has been put into place since August. The Conservation Office fined the company 2 different times, totaling more than $200,000. The company paid a portion of those fines. The sinkhole has grown to 8.5 acres in size. A TV show is now a working production centered around former Governor Edwin Edwards and his wife Trina.
Housewives in Gonzales, so it should be interesting to see the governor's life.
It debuts on A&E, which is a cable network, next month, right after the other hit show in Louisiana, Duck Dynasty. But the reaction is mixed when it comes to the possibility of reality success.
I think reality shows are getting out of hand. They're starting to make reality shows about everything.
I hope that it's a good show and people watch it, and season 2 and season 3 and season 4 come out too.
Trina Edwards gave away a few more details about the show. She's been working on the show for about a year and a half, and they're in the middle of filming the first season, which will consist of 12 episodes. Promises of more gun control after the shooting in Connecticut, why some believe a loophole needs to be closed. And the prices continue to rise for those all-important BCS tickets. We'll tell you about what the tickets are selling for. But first, meteorologist Keller Watts has your 24-hour True View forecast in high definition. Keller, the big question, when will the sun return?
Yeah, that is the big question. It looks like it may return sometime late tomorrow afternoon. TrueView 2 satellite, radar, and picture looks like this. Lots of rain back towards the west. It's pushing towards Baton Rouge, but we're very, very dry here at the lower levels of the atmosphere. So a lot of this is not going to hit the ground tonight, but you may see some sprinkles on your windshield, on the pavement as well. So be very careful if you're out late night tonight. Temperatures right now look like this. We're currently 46 in Baton Rouge, 51 in New Orleans, pair of 44s in Macomb and New Roads. Here's what things look like for tomorrow, and it looks like we will be up into the 70s at some point. So we'll talk to you about that on the way back. You're watching News 2 at 10.